When it comes to different methods of traveling, one can undoubtedly say that traveling by train is one of the most convenient and cheapest ways to get from one destination to another. Despite that, there are some railways that invoke a sense of thrill due to that risky architecture. Let us take a look at some of these railways that kick it up a notch and offer a daring experience to the passengers while riding them. Number 1. The Nose of the Devil, Ecuador. This remarkable train system is situated above 9,000 feet above sea level. Beginning in Aerie and ending in Sabrina, it passes through the Devil's Nose, connecting Quito to Guayaquil through its perilous track. To overcome the mountains of Condor area, a zigzag railway was built that covers 500 meters in less than 12 kilometers. The crossing consists of switchbacks, where the train moves past a junction, backs down the next station, and moves forward again. This allows the train to steer through the tricky terrain with no side rails to keep it from falling off the nearby vertical trip. Furthermore, the name is acquired from the fact that almost 3,000 Jamaicans and 1,000 Puerto Ricans assigned to the project. It is estimated that 2,000 workers lost their lives during the construction of this rail site. Despite that, the Devil's Nose is still a popular tourist attraction, enjoyed by many thrill seekers every year. Number 2. The Death Railway, Thailand. Continuing with the theme of deaths, the Death Railway in Thailand is home to many tragic incidents that occurred here. Connecting Bangkok to Yangon, the ride itself is extremely scary as it encompasses wild jungles and risky mountain routes, with no reliable protection to stop the train from falling from the trail and to its doom. The history behind it, however, is much more bone-chilling and deeper than that. Not only was the railway used to distribute war equipment and troops to the Burma camps during World War II, but it's also the site where approximately 100,000 war prisoners lost their precious lives during the construction of this railway. Many succumbed to disease that spread like wildfire, given the extremely unhygienic conditions and starvation that they were forced to live under. Malnourished, overworked, and infected with disease, it is said that each wooden sleeper laid down on the tracks, one worker had to lose their life. Stained with the blood and sweat of those unfortunate workers, this is how the Death Railway earned its name. Number 3. The Georgetown Loop Railroad, Colorado, USA. An engineering marvel of its time, this spectacular railroad was built through Rocky Mountains to access silver mines in 1884. This 3-foot narrow gorge was the only way miners could cross the Rocky Mountains, which in of itself is quite thrilling. However, besides getting a picturesque view of the valley, the most frightening aspect of the ride is crossing the bridge named Devil's Gate, a suspension bridge that hangs 100 feet above the ground. Despite the train moving at a minimal speed, heavy winds coming from the front and side of the rails makes it quite difficult to balance the train, which includes high stress on the locomotive operator and makes it equally nerve-wracking journey for its passengers. At one point, after the mines were developed, the rail lines were abandoned, which led to it being left in ruins. Since then, it has been restored and reconstructed and is now used as an attraction site for tourists who want to enjoy the breathtaking views on the quite rocky ride to remember. Number 4. The Minna-Asuo Route, Japan. Unlike all the railways mentioned until now, the Minna-Asuo route itself is not located on risky premises such as a mountain or a bridge, for example. The danger, however, is owed to the fact that the rail track is in close proximity to Japan's biggest active volcano. It passes through the region of Kumamoto, connecting Taragomoto Station to Tenno Station in Manasuro, traveling through the base of the active volcano Mount Aso. It also passes through the Tento Bridge, which is also a fragile and unfenced iron bridge, and one error by the operator could be catastrophic. After the Kumamoto earthquakes in 2016 damaged a part of the track, the usage of the rail track has been significantly reduced. Not to mention the track itself is extremely unsafe due to the unpredictable of the next volcanic eruption, challenging the safety of the passengers. Furthermore, visitors brave enough to ride on this train can witness steam rising from the hot volcano and also catch the sight of lava burnt forest close to the track. Thrilling, isn't it? Number 5. The Rasmamo Route, Chennai, India. When it comes to dangerous railways, India comes into play with its constant headlines regarding railway accidents making the news. According to the data released by Mumbai Police, train-related accidents peaked at 38,000 between 2007 and 2017, with an average of 9 deaths per day. Amongst that is the Rasmamo route built over the Indian Ocean to connect the city of Chennai to the Panban island of Rasmana in South India. The train crosses through the 2-kilometer-long Panban Bridge, which reflects the hard work of the creative, genius engineers. However, the bridge often gets flooded by seawater, and there is a constant threat due to the strong ocean currents and frequent turbulences including high winds, which allows the train to travel only 15 miles an hour. Passengers who also ride this train have also stated that the train wobbles alongside the fragile bridge during the raging ocean, which makes it quite alarming. The most terrifying fact, however, is the tragedy that occurred here in 1964. A cyclone destroyed a town nearby the Panban Island and derailed a train from the Panban Bridge, which resulted in 150 people losing their lives, thus making it the most dangerous railway bridge in the world. Number 6. The Argero Train Railroad, Indonesia. Travelling back and forth between Bandung and Jakarta, passengers are offered the most scenic landscapes, consisting of emerald green tree plantation, lush mountains, deep rivers, and valleys in this rail ride. However, the calming scenery takes a turn towards a frightening one when the train enters the sky-high Chikdang Bridge. The train rides 200 feet above the valley floor, the bridge not having enclosures on either side, making it extremely frightening ride. Many passengers dare not look out the window despite the panoramic view of the spectacular valley. Although the safety of this bridge is argued about, the crashes occurred here depict the opposite of that. In 2002, part of this train derailed. However, miraculously, everyone survived. Though no lives have been lost here until now, it's still a very petrifying route to travel on. Number 7. Train to the Clouds, Argentina. Tren a las Nubes, or commonly known as the Train to the Clouds, is 217 kilometers long track departing from Salta and connecting Argentina northwest to the Chilean border in the Adres mountain range over 13,850 feet above sea level, making it the 5th highest railway in the world. The zigzag track crosses through 21 tunnels, 13 daunting bridges, and 13 vertical viaducts. The La Providence viaduct stands 207 feet above the ground and curves around 735 feet in length, making it a very frightful ride. Passing through the highest mountains and deepest canyons, the journey takes around 15 hours to complete, which is insane considering the danger related to it. Mainly built for socio and economic purposes, this heritage railway track now stands to be a popular tourist attraction. Number 8. The Quintalo Choco Train, South Africa. Linking the towns of George and Kuswana, this 67-kilometer railroad stretches across the coast of the Western Cape in South Africa. It is dangerous due to the fact that Kuswana's bridge literally hangs over the Indian Ocean, making it a very risky ride. In 2006, a mudslide deeply affected a part of the railway and was brought to a grinding halt. The Kilmans Bridge has since been restored, however, due to its unsafe conditions. The rail line has been shortened to only operate between George and Mossy Bay. Number 9. The Camas Turek Scenic Railroad, New Mexico. Operating between Chama in New Mexico and Antonio in New Colorado, this 67-meter narrow gorge track passes through 800 feet of the Tolic Gorge and 10,015 feet higher than Columbus Press, from where it derives its name from. In the United States, this is the highest rail pass, which makes it quite a thrilling adventure. The steam-powered engine also travels through narrowed ledges, a handful of loops, trussels, as well as tunnels. Through the breathtaking views may leave you spellbound, it's quite risky and difficult to balance the train on the old tracks as the train navigates through the narrow ledges, donating it to a very daring ride. Alongside that, not by the route of the rail track, but due to the high crime rates continually occurring. The passengers travelling through New Mexico's rail tracks in general are constantly suffering. Train robberies increased by 475% in 2017. The most targeted spots for such crimes is the city of Veracruz, where up to 276 robberies were recorded in 2017. The crime-plagued rail track situation is so terrifying that the largest rail operator in Mexico considered requesting higher officials to suspend the transport of the trains. Number 10. The Condor Scenic Railroad, Australia. Incredibly beautiful but incredibly dangerous, this 37-kilometer rail track was built in the 19th century. It cuts through the Endakaso World Heritage Site Bandon Gorge National Park and the Masukasta Range, connecting Cairns to the town of Kurda. It presents a magnificent view to the passengers, with its tropical green forests and waterfalls. Despite the scenic view, it navigates through 15 tunnels, 93 sharp corners, and more than 40 bridges, making it a very scary ride. Additionally, it passes through whirling cliffs and powerful waterfalls, which causes the train to move slowly. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. While you are here, go ahead and click one of these two videos on your screen. See you there.